Hello guys, welcome to today's video. Today, I wanted to answer this question. Would you like to be rich? Why? Now, let's think about this. What would you do if you were rich? For example, if I were rich, I would buy a big house in London. Please pause the video and write down 3 ideas. Okay guys, now, we're going to be listening to a conversation between Lucia and Elliot, and I need you to answer the first two questions. What is Lucia thinking about, and what would Elliot do if he were rich? Let's listen.
Lesson C. What would you do? Page 98. Exercise 2. Conversation. I'm kind of broke. Part A.
I really like your camera.
Actually, it's my friend Ben's. I'm just trying it out this week. I need to give it back to him tomorrow.
It looks really expensive.
It is. I'm thinking about buying one, but I can't right now.
Why not?
Well, I'm kind of broke. If I had more money, I'd buy it.
It would be nice to be rich, wouldn't it?
Tell me about it. What would you do if you were rich?
If I were rich, I'd travel. I'd give some money away too.
That's nice.
Okay, guys, so what is Lucia thinking about? She's thinking about buying a camera. Very good. And what would Elliot do if he were rich? He would travel and give some money away. Excellent. Now we're going to listen to the rest of the conversation and answer the other question. Why does Lucia want a camera? Let's listen.
Lesson C. What would you do? Page 98. Exercise 2. Conversation. I'm kind of broke. Part B.
So, Lucia, why do you want a fancy camera anyway? Doesn't your cell phone take photos?
It does, but I want something that takes better quality photos. I want to become a professional photographer.
That makes sense.
I'm definitely gonna buy one. It's just a question of when.
Okay, guys, so why does she want to buy a camera? Well, she wants to take better photos and become a professional photographer. Very good, guys. Now, let's look at these sentences. If I had more money, I would buy it. What would you do if you were rich? If I were rich, I would travel. Let's listen to a little part of the conversation now and let's answer these two questions. Does Lucia have enough money to buy the camera? Is Elliot rich? Let's listen.
I really like your camera.
Actually, it's my friend Ben's. I'm just trying it out this week. I need to give it back to him tomorrow.
It looks really expensive.
It is. I'm thinking about buying one, but I can't right now.
Why not?
Well, I'm kind of broke. If I had more money, I'd buy it.
It would be nice to be rich, wouldn't it?
Tell me about it. What would you do if you were rich?
If I were rich, I'd travel. I'd give some money away too.
That's nice.
Okay, guys, so does Lucia have enough money to buy the camera? No, she doesn't have enough money. And is Elliot rich? No, he's not rich. Very good. Now, let's take a look at the sentences one more time. Why do we use second conditional form? If I had more money, I would buy it. If I were rich, I would travel. We have four options. Let's see. A. Things that are true. B. Real possibilities in the present or future. C. An imaginary situation in the present or future. And D. An imaginary situation in the past. Pause the video to think about this. Okay, guys, so the answer is C. An imaginary situation in the present or future. If I had more money right now, I would buy the camera. But I don't have the money. I'm just imagining that. If I were rich, I would travel. Again, I am imagining if I were rich, right? And the thing I would do if that was the case. Now, we are going to come up with a structure. You're going to be using this would, simple passive verb, if, subject, and the verb in base form. Please pause the video to come up with the first structure basing on the two sentences. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and check. So we're going to start with if, subject, simple past of the verb, a comma, then we're going to write again the subject, would, and the verb in base form. So this is one of the ways we can form second conditional. The other way is to change the order of the clauses. Instead of starting with the condition, if subject simple past, I can start with the main clause or the imaginary result. Subject would verb. So it would look like this. Subject would in the base form, so my imaginary result, and then talking about my imaginary condition. If subject simple past of the verb. Now guys, there is something here very important, and look at this. If I were rich, when we're using second conditional, we are going to be using were for the past form of letter of verb to be. We are not going to use was, only were. It doesn't matter if we're talking about you, if we're talking about I, if we're talking about he, she, it. For this, we're all going to use were. So look at this. Second conditional. If, simple past, and then the present conditional, right? Would, and the verb in base form. So again, we have our imaginary condition and our imaginary result or the main clause. And again, remember, verb to be use were. We're going to use it to talk about the imaginary situations in the present or future. Look at some examples. If I won $1 million, I would buy a new car. If I were you, I would quit smoking. If I were the president of Guatemala, I would lower taxes. They would stay longer if they had more time. They don't have time. If I won $1 million, I could stop working. If I had more free time, I could travel around the world. Okay, guys, great. Let's go ahead and practice. Let's go to our workbook, page 78, exercise 2. Here, we're going to complete Bianca's email with the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Remember to use the second conditional. So remember, if it is the condition, we're going to be using simple passive verb. If we're talking about the main clause or the imaginary result, would and base form. Let's see the first. I have some interesting news. My aunt might give me some money. I would do so many things if I. It's the condition. What should I use? Base form or simple past? That's right, simple past. If I have a lot of money. Pause the video while I do the rest. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and check. If I were rich, remember we're going to use were as the simple past form of be. I would not work anymore. That would be great. If I didn't have a job, very good. I will travel around the world. Excellent. Number 7. I would feel very lucky if I got a lot of money. Excellent. Now, we're going to go ahead and do exercise 3. And here, what you're going to do is exactly the same. Complete the email using second conditional. Except this is the reply to Bianca, and Rose is the one who wrote this email. So let's go ahead and complete. Pause the video, please. Okay, guys, now let's go ahead and check. Wow, it would be great if your aunt gave you money. Is it a lot of money? If I had a lot of money, I would make a big, beautiful garden. But I cannot have a garden at my apartment, so I would need a big house with a yard. I would use a lot of the money to buy a house, and there would be a lot of room for two big gardens, a vegetable garden and a flower garden. I would give some money to my brother too if I were rich. He wouldn't have to pay me back. Take care. Excellent, guys. Now, let's continue practicing. Let's go to our student book now. Let's go to page 99, exercise 3A. Here, what we're going to do is complete the conversations with second conditional. Let's go ahead and number one together. What you if you suddenly rich? Very good. What would you do if you suddenly became rich? I, my job. Then I, for a few months. What do you think here? Yeah, I would quit my job, then I would travel for a few months. Here I am not using the if part because it is already mentioned in the question. That's why I didn't complete that. Okay, guys, pause the video to the rest. Okay, guys, we're going to check this exercise during our class. Let's do one more. Now go back to your workbook, page 79, exercise 4. Here you're going to write sentences using the cues given. But remember, these questions have to be with second condition. For example, the first one says, what would you do if you were braver? Now, let's do number 2. What you buy for your friends if you have a lot of money? Remember, we need to use if at somewhere, we need to use would somewhere. Yeah. What would you buy for your friends if you had a lot of money? Excellent. Pause the video to the rest, please. Okay, guys. Very good. We're going to check this during our class too. Guys, this is the end of the video. I will see you in class. Bye bye.